Hi folks, Chris with a C here. I noticed when I was editing this episode that in the second half of the show mainly there's a bit of weird, like hissy interference in the background, and hopefully it's not too distracting. I just thought I'd mention it in case it was anyone's first episode and, you know, the show doesn't normally have that addition to it. So yeah, enjoy the show and yeah, take it easy.
You're listening to Champion Cinema with Chris and Chris.
Hello folks and welcome to Champion Cinema. I'm Chris with a K-L-E-C.
Oh, and I'm Chris with a K.
With a KK. Yeah. We just got back from the Picture House. We went to see Alien, and Ellie said Revolution for some reason.
Fucking
Alien.
whatever. Alien R-title movie.
Alien Romulus. Yeah, another fucking R-title movie. So yeah, we're going to talk about that later, but we're going to also talk about the films we can't be asked to talk about, like AVP 1 and 2, Prometheus and Covenant.
Yeah, those alien movies that aren't alien movies, but are alien movies.
Yeah, there's aliens in them.
Yeah.
Champion Cinema.
Right, so I guess housekeeping, show business.
Oh.
Show business first. So, also something I forgot to mention, which
Yeah.
we were going to do a show for. It was our 12th year of doing this show. Technically.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always been the same show. It's had 8 names, name
Yeah,
changes.
Wafoo FM.
We started as Wafoo, and then we
Started
moved the Chris and Chris show for a while. And then pretty much because we'd not done a show for like 8 months, and we wanted to start doing it again, and we thought, let's just rebrand the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, we did those initial shows last year, and then once we got those out to get up to 200,
Yeah.
then we rebranded.
Yeah.
So I would consider this the end of season 1 of Champion Cinema.
Yeah.
Only because
It is,
when I
yeah.
uploaded the show to Spotify, it asked us what season it was, and I was like,
Yeah.
this is season 1.
Why
It's
not?
a new beginning.
Yeah. It certainly is.
So we figured we've done it for this long. We're going to try give Patreon a go because I don't know about you, but this is the most I've enjoyed doing the show. I'm enjoying the week to week. It's more fun.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't enjoy it before.
No.
It's just the way we're doing it now. It's just, I don't know, something more
We've
enjoyable
been
about it.
like super consistent
Yeah,
as well.
I think
which
that's
has
it
been
as
good.
well. Yeah. So what we're going to do is give the Patreon thing a go. The show's always going to be the same every Wednesday, so you don't have to. It's not like we'll paywall the whole show.
No.
The only difference is if there's going to be 3 tiers. So the first tier is you'll get the show a couple of days early.
Yeah.
Second tier, there's going to be a couple of bonus shows. Maybe we're going to do a new show and then do like a mini review show of stuff I've watched that we're not doing on the show. Final tier is going to be all that stuff, but you can pick a film for us to review, which will probably, I'm guessing, be only available on Patreon as well.
Yeah.
Maybe eventually. Like, let's say, I don't know, when we figure it out, maybe like a month later we'll put it up as a show.
Yeah.
So yeah, there'll be more stuff as well. We're going to do like mini reviews and stuff on there. There'll be video stuff. We've got a whole bunch of like
just
video game
bonus
stuff.
really.
Yeah, we haven't really thought about like,
No.
there's just multiple things we can do extra on there. So yeah.
I might do some nudes. We'll see how
Well,
it
you've
goes.
got to have nudes, yeah.
No, that's another site, isn't it? Actually,
That's OnlyFans. Yeah, you keep confusing Patreon with OnlyFans. So whenever I bring it up in the back of your head, you're like, why does he want to make all saucy? So yeah, so because of that though, it's more me. Like you're always quite busy through the week.
Yeah.
I'm just a fucking putty ass. So I'm always like, we'll record on Sundays. I'm always watching the movies either Saturday night or 3 p.m. on Sunday, 2 hours before we do the show.
Yeah.
So because of that, and we want to be able to have the shows up early, we're going to take September off, create a backlog of shows, so we've got a lot backed up, sorted, ready to go.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be back in October to do our Halloween movies.
Yes,
So-
which we've planned out.
Probably by the end of September, the Patreon will be up and available to join and stuff. Keep an eye on the Instagram page. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll put up a little quick show to remind everyone when it
Yeah.
goes up. So yeah, that's what's going to happen.
It's got our shit serious.
You what?
We've got all our shit together and serious. I
Yes,
should
exactly.
say.
It's very serious. It's a business now. It's a brand. Unfortunately, Champion Cinema has become a brand. We've sold out.
CC.
Yeah.
We need a logo now and stuff. That can be on like a coffee cup, just like a quick little CC.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Something that's a shorthand symbol.
So yeah, let's get talking about the side quest alien movies.
Yeah.
So AVP, when did that come up? Was it pre or post Freddy vs. Jason?
Post.
Freddy vs. Jason was 2003.
Let's have a look.
Let's have a gander. Do this off the cuff, folks. Because we don't care enough to do the research.
So 2004,
Alien
vs. Predator came
So I'm
out.
guessing the success of that, they thought, right, now's the time to do AVP.
Yeah.
Because it had been in the Dark Horse comics a few years prior, and that's where the idea first happened.
And obviously we've got that teaser and teaser, but Predator 2.
Yeah, the little Easter egg.
Yeah. So it was always on the minds of fans and stuff. And I remember at the time, there was various talks about how would they do an Alien vs Predator movie? Like, would they do a Predator movie that's subtitled and there's aliens in it? Or would they do a movie where it's like the humans are the main characters?
Yeah, well, that was the thing, wasn't it? Like, I think everyone really wanted a human, like, no human characters.
Yeah.
Just a silent, or maybe subtitled Alien v Predator.
Which
That would have been amazing.
Yeah, you're just never going to get that.
No, sadly. No.
Sadly, you'd be more likely to get it now with streaming services and stuff.
Yeah.
Like a movie straight to streaming. Because like that Prey movie, that never would have been a cinema movie. It's too, like, it's just high concept, like Native American set in the past and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's the same with that. It's like too high concept. But we might have gotten it if an AVP had never happened up until this moment. And it probably would have been fascinating to see like a movie just about the predators and the aliens and like how they interact and stuff.
Instead, we've got Paul W.S. Anderson.
Fucking Paul Anderson. Love him or hate him, I don't know. He's one of them guys.
Well, I mean, I remember you always used to take the piss out, mate, because I remember, like, I didn't see AVP when it was in the cinemas, but when it came out on DVD, you loaned me your DVD.
Yeah.
I think I've been then, like, you were still just like, it's not very good.
No.
And I remember,
never liked it.
texting you after watching, going, I thought it was good. I thought it was okay.
I'm still a bit upset about that.
I know, but I haven't watched it since.
No. It's just, like, I mean, it does all the stuff that I hate about, and we'll mention it later, but about, like, the Romulus as well does this, but the life cycle's all fucked up because of the plot. So, like, people get impregnated in, like, a split second, the chest bursters coming out of them, in a split second, there's full-size aliens, and it's just like, have some fucking patience, movie.
And plus, what rating is AVP? Is it a 12?
It's got to be low, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's not an 18. It's not. I think it is a 12. At least over here.
15. It was a 15.
Oh, it was a 15?
Yeah. There's a bit of violence in it, like, I guess, the chest bursting and stuff.
Well, I mean, Romulus was a 15.
Yeah. Again, though, like, fucking huge missed opportunity. You get Lance Henriksen back.
Yeah,
and stuff.
I always forget he's in it until I see a clip.
Yeah.
Go, oh, yeah.
And from EastEnders.
You fucking hell! George Knight's in it.
Colin Salmon, the actor. Just realised.
Yeah.
That's random.
And Spud from Trainspotting.
Yeah.
I'll have to rewatch it. I forgot either of them people were in it.
Yeah, crazy.
The only thing I really remember from it is, like, obviously hearing the kickback at the time was like, why the fuck do all the predators look like they're on rides?
Yeah, they did that thing which is, like, almost commendable, where they're like, we're going to just get guys, we're going to do it old school, guys in suits.
Oh, yeah.
No like CGI, like Alien Resurrection and stuff. We're going to do it proper. But unfortunately, what you end up with is guys in suits.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you're going to do guys in suits, you have to shoot it right. You can't just bang a camera down and shout action and have them just walk about the set.
Yeah.
You've got to film it right.
Yeah.
And the movie just ends up, they just look like guys in suits. And they're all like, I think they used basketball players or something off memory.
I don't know, because
like biggish guys.
Well, that was the thing, like the change in the predators are normally, like, 7 foot odd, but like kind of slender.
Yeah.
And in AVP, they made them like bulky.
Yeah,
like wrestlers
they're all like
almost.
ridiculously huge, like looking things. And that's like a weak thing about the movie. Excuse me. When there are like Alien versus Predator moments, it is just like two guys just like fighting each other.
The only
and
bit
it's
I
like,
can remember is where they're in some sort of like round like corridor room thing,
Yeah.
and he swings the alien around by its tail into the pillars and stuff.
Yeah,
And then it kind of feels like a glossy Godzilla movie or something.
Yeah, it does, yeah. Which, isn't the worst thing in the world, but just for I think aliens are never something that should be like just bipedal and just filmed cold and just having like a fist fight with a predator. I'm just not sure that's the way you do it.
It's like I was saying, like with Alien, like when you watch the deleted footage and you just see the alien for more than like 5 seconds, and you're like, guy in a suit.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. You've got to shoot it right.
Yeah.
And the same with the Predator, in Predator 1, you never really got a super great look until the very end.
Mm-hmm.
But like whenever it's in the suit and stuff, and it's always quick shots and quick glances and stuff. Don't linger the camera too much because it is ultimately just a guy in a suit, and you don't, you're trying to portray it's this fucking mystical, like alien creature sort of thing. So,
well, I guess moving on though, maybe they realised that and decided with AVP2 to just shoot it all pitch black with one torch.
They went the opposite direction.
Because you can't see a fucking thing in that film.
Well, we're not going to show people.
I've heard 2 excuses for that. Because it was shot. I know it was shot by Daniel Pearl, who shot like the original Chainsaw Massacre. And he shot the remake, and like he's been a cinematographer. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I heard a story once that someone talked to him about it, and I went, "Why is that film so dark?" And he was like, "Shrug, nothing to do with me. That was post production."
Yeah, it does have that feeling.
Then I've heard another story that it was literally shot to look like that, and you can't change it. There's nothing you can do in post production. I'm like, I don't know. It looks way too like I don't think any cinematographer worth his salt would go, that looks great.
Yeah, it's just there's times where it just feels like they have applied something to it.
Yeah, it looks like they've just gone to the editing suite and went, turned down the contrast of the brightness, because there's just parts where you're like, 2 big hulking things fighting in the rain at night and you can't tell what the fuck is going on.
So weird. Even early on, I remember like watching it on DVD and feeling like those weird artifacts where it was like too black and the TV couldn't draw it right and stuff, and it was like, oh, that looks weird. Like,
I mean, that's the sad thing about, I think you've always said this as well, like the concept for Alien AVP2 was good, like all the battle happening on Earth.
Yeah.
Whereas on one hand you might think, oh, they're saving money.
Yeah.
But at the same time it's like, interesting idea.
Yeah, it really was. And like there was a terrifying moment where there's an alien at like a window and stuff. I thought that was pretty mad, where like the little girl's like, oh, there's a monster outside. And
I remember enjoying the film up until they started fighting. And then I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Of course, you can't beat that scene where all the pregnant women get impregnated by the pred alien. Do you remember that scene? Do you not remember that scene?
No. I forgot there was even a pred alien.
Yeah. So there's that, because that's kind of one of the main driving things about the movie, isn't it? Because it takes off from the last movie. Like directly where the last predator that like dies, he's like on the ship and like the ship crashes, and like the wolf predator, as it's called in that movie, it's like on Earth trying to like eliminate all the aliens and track down the pred alien, and like towards the end, because the pred alien has the ability to like just impregnate people. It's like not only is it an alien, but it's like it has the abilities of a facehugger as well. So it can impregnate people and eliminate the need for a facehugger. It's kind of like a queen without the whole process of eggs and stuff. And it breaks into the maternity ward and like makes...
Why do I not remember this?
No, I can't believe you can't remember this bit. Because there's a bit where like it like grabs onto some woman's face and it's like pumping her with eggs and you can see them going down her throat. And then obviously all the aliens burst out of her like swollen belly.
I do remember that this thing obviously went, okay, the PG-13 route didn't work. Let's up the goal with the next one, because it was like, more gory. I don't remember that. Maybe I didn't finish it.
There's a really brutal moment where, because there's kind of like a Barbie-ish character, a prom queen character, who she's like the mean girl or something from memory, and she makes it through most of the movie. And then there's just a bit where she just gets fucking cut in half by the predator's like thrown weapon. And I don't know if you remember that. So that she's just like, come on this way. And she like runs and then she just gets pinned to the wall and brutally dies. It's like, fuck. And I do remember thinking, Jesus Christ, that was brutal. She just died like really cold and the movie just continues on. Both films that were just a fucking waste of time.
Missed opportunity, a bit like Freddy vs Jason.
Too soon, that's the problem. Too soon. Like both Alien vs Predator and Freddy vs Jason needed more time in the oven and needed to happen in like a bit further on, 2010 or something.
It's a bit of both. I think it's either too soon or too late.
True.
I think the sweet point for Freddy vs. Jason would have been like 1987, 1988.
Yeah,
and
true.
Predator, Alien vs. Predator should have been the next film after Predator 2.
Yeah, because... Yeah, like overly ambitious. You're probably right, actually, probably earlier.
I mean, effects-wise and stuff, you can do more things now.
But exactly. And I just think they're at that sweet point... that sour point in movie timeline where like there was the need and the want for bigger and more over the top things in movies, but the technology wasn't there.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So
the early 2000s where everyone's like, "This is the CGI is not going to get better than this, lad.
Exactly.
So we can do it. Just make Freddy a giant CGI worm. Fuck it, looks mint."
Yeah, like it cannot get better than this.
Exactly. Yeah. And then a year later, they're like, "What the fuck were we thinking?"
And these movies, like, they're just they're horribly, horrifically dated.
A week later, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So then, of course, a few years later, we got the rumblings that Ridley Scott was going to make a prequel to Alien and explain like the backstory, the space jockey and all that stuff.
Although obviously the thing about Prometheus was there was a lot of will it, won't it, is it, isn't it?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It started off, it was announced as, I'm going to do an Alien prequel. Everyone was like, Ridley Scott's come back, the franchise is going to be amazing. Yeah. And then it was quiet for a bit and it was like, what's happening with that Alien movie? Oh, it's called Prometheus. It's not an Alien prequel anymore. Yeah. It's got strands of aliens' DNA. Yeah. And I was like, what is... Fuck off, really. Yeah. Is it an Alien prequel or not?
Yeah. That really hurt the movie, that, I think.
It did. I think a lot of people didn't know what the fuck it was supposed to be.
Yeah, where... It's weird. Like, artist choice to do that or something. Like, just call it an Alien prequel and people would have flocked to see it. You know what I mean?
I think more people would have went to see it if it was called Alien Prometheus, like Alien Romulus.
Yeah.
Like, even if, like, you don't really see anything resembling Alien till the end, at least it's in the same world. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like calling, Furiosa a Mad Max saga. Same kind of thing. It's not a Mad Max movie, but it's in that world.
Yeah, exactly. It's enough to get people, like, to understand and like, what's going on.
So what are your thoughts on Prometheus these days? Do you like it, or...?
I still... My thoughts haven't changed, really, about the stuff I dislike about that movie. Yeah. I think... I do, at least they tried something different. I will say that. They didn't just do like an Alien, like, or hero all the moments that everyone likes from the Alien movies. Yeah. I think as a sci-fi movie, I think on its own merits, it's like really, really good, well made, looks great, has some creepy stuff. Like I always said about Ridley Scott, but the guy knows how to point a camera.
He's a great director.
Great director. Yeah. Like all these films look really nice. They're always well edited and stuff. But, it's just one of them films where the whole crew are just fucking arseholes.
And dumb.
And you're just waiting for them to die.
There's a lot of weird, dumb decisions that are only there because they need to be dumb all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And it's like that prime bit where she's running away from a falling tower and doesn't zigzag or run to the left. She's just, I'm going to keep running straight.
Full Looney Tunes.
Because it's dramatic.
Yeah. That guy with a clearly violent space snake thing. And he's all like, coochie coochie coo, and then it like just kills him. It's like, yes, that was an extremely hostile looking organism. You wouldn't just be like, oh, look at it, I'm gonna fuss it. I think from memory there is a deleted scene that kind of explains why he was like that. I think from memory, I'm sure there's a scene earlier on where there's like a version of that creature, but it's like totally friendly or something or some shit. Yeah. But you've got to base the movie off what you see in the theatre.
Exactly.
And you've got the snake thing that's got insane like foldy out flaps, and it's pretty much hissing at him. Yeah. And he's like coochie coochie coo, and then it just like wraps around his arm and snaps his arm.
In a film, if a scene has been deleted, it doesn't exist. It never happens.
No,
unless a character refers to a deleted scene. You know what I mean? Yeah. Otherwise, it didn't happen. That character's just dumb.
So I hated every moment where a character died because it never felt like the environment was dangerous. They were just putting themselves in harm's risk. Yeah. But putting stuff that I dislike about the movie aside, like
the cast's good.
Yeah, I like the cast. I think Michael Fassbender did an amazing job as David. Yeah, I do like the idea about questioning humanity's origins, because the idea is the engineers procreated Earth basically. They took the black goo. The one guy like sacrificed himself and like seeded Earth with like his genes and the black goo, and we're just like the human race is like some biomechanical mutation basically. Yeah, and I like that the religious problems that would throw up. Like, well, hang on, if we're just like biological mutations from an alien race, like what's all this God talk been about for hundreds of years, thousands of years? So it is interesting the things it puts out. And I like the engineers. I know some people don't like the way the engineers were portrayed in the movie.
I mean, I think they're like the fact that they're like a bit weird and uncanny valley-ish. But I like the idea of them and how they
Yeah,
look. They're weird and odd, like eerie looking.
They're just supposed to be like a pristine, perfect
Yeah,
race, basically. And I think like it's a shame that they like butchered some of the stuff about the end of the movie, because the end of the movie had more explanation about what was going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but like when they find a still alive engineer that's in cryosleep,
Yeah.
they wake him up, and he basically just rips David's head off and like kills
that's right. He goes crazy,
Peter
doesn't he?
Wayland.
Yeah.
But in all the deleted shit that they cut out of the movie, there's like a bit of an exchange where David can speak the engineer language, and he like basically says to the engineer, "Oh, we're here because Peter Wayland doesn't want to die, and he's come to ask you for like immortality." And the whole engineer race, they're obsessed with like birth and death and sacrifice, and they like worship like the creation of life through sacrifice. And so to him, like, it's a massive affront that he's like asking for immortality.
Okay.
So that's why he like attacks them and like kills them and stuff.
Yeah.
There's more like motivation.
The
and
finished film, he's just a mentalist.
yeah, he's just like,
Can't believe you woke us up.
yeah, I'm a big monster.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's weird. Like, he had human rationalized, like, I don't know, like justifications for what he did and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're just Hollywood and cinema movies. They're big monster.
It's not popcorny enough.
No. So yeah, and obviously the Deacon stuff at the end and stuff. It was kind of cool, I guess.
I just remember, like you said, I liked it as a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
And I was just a bit like, does it have to be an alien?
Yeah.
Part of the alien mythology?
Yeah. It was like unsatisfying on that front. It being linked into the alien,
Especially when
universe.
it gets to that bit where you're like, oh, so this is the space jockey, and you're like, oh, it's not. Okay.
Yeah, but it looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's on a different planet. It's like,
that feels like that was something changed in pre-production, and they went, okay, let's just go with that.
yeah.
But it
so
feels
weird.
like a massive bait and switch.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that explained, but if you're going to explain it, I was literally looking forward to seeing that scene.
Yeah.
And that scene comes along, and you're like, so it's not.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. It's always a bad sign when like people like defend Prometheus by going, "Oh no! If there's a series of comics that explains all this."
Yeah,
and
well,
stuff."
fuck, not
Like,
everyone's going to be. You don't need to explain the movie. But
Yeah, it's always a bad sign when a movie has like extra stuff that you've got to consume to understand the plot of the movie.
Yeah, well, films that went through a period of that, didn't it? Thanks to, I think The Matrix started that shit.
It did.
When there was the fucking video game which had half the plot in it. There was the fucking Animatrix, which was like the prequel to the sequels.
Yeah, and then you end up with some weird like hodgepodge of a movie that like is referencing stuff that half the audience are going to be like, what they're talking about.
Like, 'cause remember we loved Enter the Matrix, and it was with the. I can't remember the character's name now, but Jada Pinkett Smith and that other guy, and he played as them throughout the whole fucking game. And I was like, I can't wait to see these guys in the movies. They're in like fucking 5 seconds, and I was like, what?
Yeah, total promise and people and not delivering on it.
So then Covenant, which I watched the first 20 minutes of about 5 years ago, and my reaction was, I just don't care, and I just turned it off.
Yeah, I was just looking 2017 that came out, so that was like a 5-year gap. So yeah, they had obviously like bottled it a bit at this point and went, let's just call it Alien Covenant.
Yeah, I'm convinced. I don't know. I haven't looked it up, but I'm convinced that film was just called Covenant, like Prometheus Covenant, and then I'm sure the studio was like, call it Alien Covenant, will you? Please.
I think that the movie just starts straight away in it. It's like a slap in the face that like the main character from Prometheus just dies off screen.
Yeah, that pissed us off. But like, I'm not like a massive Prometheus fan, but I was like, I sat down, I was like, I'll watch this. Then I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow straight off that it's like, oh god.
But then I was rewarded by James Franco being incinerated. So that was pretty good.
And
Started strong.
Covenant's another one of them movies where there's like a whole web series or something that like where James Franco's character's like in it.
I was gonna say
something.
when it started and like there's all these like Danny McBride and James Franco, and I was like, are these the main characters? Then they all died, and I was like, so that was just random stunt casting. But I guess once again, tie in. Web
extra
series.
content. It's like, no, I don't want to watch your bullshit web series.
Like, it's fine if that's just like extra stuff you don't need to know, which sometimes it is, most of the time. But when it's like it makes the film make more sense, I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Most people aren't going to watch that and come out going, that was weird. Where was this? Where was that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think with Covenant, it has all the things I disliked about Prometheus. Basically, the the cannon fodder of the movie, the crew of the I can't remember, is the ship called the Covenant? It might be.
I'm not sure.
I can't remember what the ship's called, but they're all just useless dickheads that are just there to die. And I think they're like, they land on an alien planet and they're just like stomping around with no like regard to like safety and stuff. These people are supposed to be like expert colonizers who are like supposed to be scientific people and intelligent people. They land on this planet and they just go on a jolly romp across the planet with no like breathing apparatus or anything, and they get infected by, I think, like the black goo. It's mutated into just like an airborne virus basically on the planet, and it just gets into like the respiration. Like I think one goes in a guy's ear or something. Yeah. So they get infected, and it's like, well, yeah, he's fucking. You went to an alien planet. Probably like a version of the common cold would probably kill you if you're on an alien planet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So just like nerdy sci-fi stuff but it's just like, but even worse than that, there's like multiple scenes where. There's like one scene where one of the guys like just puts his face in the egg, and I know you could criticize Alien. Alien kind of has that moment, but I don't know. He's in a spacesuit. There's something. I don't know. It just feels like forgivable that Kane puts his head in that way. He's like he's being curious.
At least feels a bit protected.
Yeah, in his spacesuit. With Alien Covenant, he's in like some creepy dark cave, and there's an egg there, and he just full on, without any protection, puts his face over the egg. This weird slimy thing. Yeah, he pretty much does motorboat it, and it's like I was just groaning through the movie, like, oh god, all the crew are just total arseholes.
I kind of want to watch it now because it's the only one I haven't seen. So I will. I think when I get back home, I will watch it, and maybe rewatch Prometheus because that's very fucking hazy in my mind as well. So I'll have a double bill.
Prometheus is. I have rewatched Prometheus many times, and I've always like enjoyed it for what it is. Yeah. But with Covenant, like I've watched it like 2.5 times, and I think like the half time was just I couldn't stomach it. I was just like, oh, fuck
that was me on the fucking first 20 minutes in. I was like, oh no, can't be bothered. Did Ridley direct that one still?
Oh yeah, he did. Okay. We're just weird that we never got. I mean, I guess we kind of do get an end to it in some ways. Which spoilers, so we won't get into it. But Covenant just ends, and that's it. No more Covenant. No more David. We don't get to find out what happened to, again, like the main character. It kind of dies on a bit of a downer. Covenant. Yeah. And it's a female character, but like it ends on an anticlimax where David's kind of like got his claws into her basically. And the movie just ends, and we'll never find out what happened to those characters. Yeah, no shame. I'm sure there'll be a comic. Maybe.
Probably already is.
So yeah, I often say like Aliens hasn't been good since 1986, and I still kind of hold true to that. The franchise.
It hasn't been great since 1986. Yeah, because there's still, like I said, there's still stuff to enjoy in Alien 3, but it's a steep drop.
Yeah. There's a lot of good faith that is born from those two first movies, basically, and the franchise has just limped on ever since. Alien Isolation's cool, I'll say that. Yeah. Video game.
That's the movie. That's what I think of as the gap between Alien and Alien. Alien Isolation.
Yeah, like I fully will have that as
that's canon.
That's canon. Yeah. Amanda Ripley, Ripley's daughter, grows up to be a young woman. And she wants to find out what happened to her mum.
And comes across an alien.
Yeah. I'll have it, absolutely.
Yeah, same here. Yeah. So I guess we'll head on back to our review of Romulus from last night.
Yes.
Champion Cinema.
So Alien Romulus, it was out 2024 this year. It runs for 1 hour and 59 minutes, directed by Fede Alvarez, who previously brought us the Evil Dead remake from over a decade ago now, Jesus. God. And Don't Breathe, and what was the film he did before this? I can't remember. I'm sure there was one in between there.
I can't remember.
Sorry, Freddie. It stars Kaylee Spaney as Rain, David Johnson as Andy, Archie Renault as Tyler, Isabel Merced. How do you say that? Merced?
Yeah.
Merced as Kay, Spike Ferd as Bjorn, Eileen Wu as Navarro, and Oh, should I even say it?
It's spoilers.
I'll bleep that out. Because,
Yeah.
with films like this, it's going to be like, hey, look, it's that guy.
Yeah.
So,
Thumbnail.
yeah, exactly. Like some podcasts have done. So, yeah, what's it about? What's the plot of Alien Romulus, which is set, we'll say, just in case people don't know, between Alien and Aliens.
Indeed, 20 years post.
20 years,
20
yeah.
years post Alien. Non-spoiler synopsis.
Yeah.
The evil corporation, Weyland Yutani, have found a way to resurrect the alien, having found the big chap floating adrift in space.
Yeah.
All shit breaks loose, and a ragtag band of guys have to go through a haunted house of alien stuff.
Yeah. They're like employees of like the mining portion of Whale Yutani. They go, fuck this shit. So they steal a ship to go steal some life pods to go to this nice Earth type place. Basically.
If you just cast your mind back to Alien Resurrection, it's that basically. Because movie opens with scientist guys doing DNA stuff that brings back the alien.
Yeah.
Then we are introduced to a ragtag bunch of guys on a little ship. And then they all get killed and they've got to make the way across the ship to the Betty, or whatever their ship is called. And there's a bit where they have to climb a fucking ladder as well.
Even got the ladder scene in there.
and then other stuff which we'll get there.
And then there's something
spoilery
else
stuff.
at the end which is very similar as well. I will say, right, I won't go to that, but I'll just say when it opened, it got a reaction, like an audible reaction out of us because it did the 20th Century Fox thing that we always like, that Alien 3 does.
Yeah, I like that.
And then, like, when it first opens, it was literally like watching a forgotten missing Alien sequel.
Yeah,
the shots of space, the quiet, the credits, the font. It's a lot of just like,
it did a lot right.
Remember this, but it worked.
Yeah. It felt very in universe, like the opening sort of stuff, and
and the sound of like all the stuff coming out of the mother and stuff. I was like, shit. I was like, is this going to be the tone for the entire film? And it's not really.
No, it kind of ramps up. There's a certain point in the movie where it kind of goes like, it just ramps up the action, and probably to the detriment of the movie to some degree.
Yeah, although I will say it does actually take its time getting going though.
Yeah.
Once you get that reveal at the start with like the sort, it's almost like the aliens fossilized in a way, isn't it? Like after being shut out the airlock at the end of the first movie. But then it takes its time to get to know the characters and what they're doing and their plot. So I appreciated that. I appreciate it wasn't just like, let's get to the alien.
Yeah.
And even then, when shit kicks up, it still takes a while before an alien shows up.
Yeah, definitely. And it wasn't a gore fest that I thought it was going to be.
No, because you were worried about that with the Evil Dead guy.
Like, people getting fucking beheaded and left, right, and centre, or like heads getting split.
I mean, it had some gross stuff in it.
Yeah, there was definitely some gore. It wasn't to the degree that I was worried about, basically. So I was quite pleased about that. Yeah.
I mean, the thing that I thought was not gross, it was more surprising because we've never seen this before. Like, what happens to the alien between bursting out of someone's chest and becoming fully grown? That cocoon on the wall, which was basically just a big vagina that he takes like a cattle prod and just rams into it over and over again, and then it starts leaking fluid. And I was like, that's not so.
Yeah, that was really impressive. But I like that stuff. Like, I felt like there's a new element to the alien life cycle that
actually furthered the mythology of the creature and stuff.
That was quite cool. I suppose. Oh God, what do we do?
Just whatever comes to your head. What do you want to talk about? Because it's very fresh. We literally just got out of the cinema 20 minutes ago.
I think I really enjoyed the first 30, 40 minutes of the movie. Thought it was really, really
that
good.
was the strongest part.
I liked the stuff I thought it was really fascinating seeing the colonists on that mining planet. Yeah. And like seeing the like atmospheric like stabilizer or whatever it's called, the processor, the atmospheric processor. Obvious visuals from Aliens using the same like design and stuff. But I felt like that wasn't a member berry. That was like in-universe stuff. Like there's an atmospheric processor that's been put down by the company so that people can mine the planet. Yeah. But I liked all the stuff about these people like kind of having a shitty life being slaves to
They pretty much are slaves.
yeah, slaves to the corporation.
That opening scene where she's like, "I've literally done all I was contracted to," and they're like, "No, another 24. What was it? 24,000 hours?
Yeah,
Fuck
like
me.
6 years or something. Yeah, it's just like fuck. So it gives the character like the right motivation to want to just fucking get off planet. And
You did say though that there was a few things in those open scenes where you were just like, "Okay, we'll get it. It's an Alien sequel."
yeah, it was aggressive. It was very aggressive with the member berries. Like, I think the first piece of dialogue almost that you hear is she mentions about cornbread. She says something about cornbread, and that's when the Marines wake up in Aliens. And there's like a drinking bird in the background.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking hell, chill out. And then the walk outside, and there's a shot where you see like a neon bar sign, and that's from Aliens as well. On the LV-426. So that was like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
They pulled back as the movie went to some degree.
Yeah, I didn't mind those little things too much. Like with the cornbread thing, I can just be like, that's just like, it must be like standard issue food for employees.
Yeah.
It's easy to make. So they're just like, get some cornbread out there.
Yeah.
But I really got it, because I'd read quotes Freddy Alvarez says he played a lot of Alien Isolation and wanted that atmosphere.
Yeah.
And I just got a kick every time you saw the payphone, basically the save points in the game.
Yeah.
That just really, because I love Alien Isolation, so I was like, there it is.
Yeah, I noticed like the door that you had to like pump to open.
Yeah.
That felt very much like an Alien Isolation thing. I think the first time when she's kind of hiding under the metal grill and the alien lands, I was getting feelings of Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
Like the heaviness of it, like those thuds when it's walking about and stuff.
And there was a shot of Reeboks.
There was, Reeboks, of course.
The one that not did annoy us, I was just like, that's fucking far too wink wink, was the get away from her, you bitch. Like, I was like, but that has...
Yeah.
I was going to say that hasn't happened yet. That wouldn't matter. These characters don't know each other. But I was just like, why would that character say that?
I can only think, because at first I thought they weren't going to do that.
I thought it was just going to be get away from her. And I was like, that's enough.
Yeah, and then when he like paused and went, "You bitch," I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that like a couple of minutes after the scene ended, and I can only think like that British guy was like, he called him bitch a few times.
Maybe.
Like, I'm almost like defending the movie now, but like he had that input from what's he called? Fucking the British
Bjorn?
Bjorn, yeah. Like I'm sure he called him bitch a few times through the movie or something.
Yeah,
So, but that was just unnecessary.
Yeah,
Didn't need to do that.
all you needed was get away from him, and all the audience would go, "Oh, I get that. That's a reference." But
So that took us out of the movie a little bit, because, like, for the next couple of minutes, I was just thinking about that line of dialogue going.
Yeah. I will say though, I think we said this briefly. We tried not to talk about it too much in the car on the way home. But David Johnson, who plays Andy, is the best thing in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, both the leads are good, but like just the way he plays, it's the most sympathetic I've seen an android in the Alien movies. Even though I love Bishop, he's got more screen time than Bishop. Yeah. But I genuinely felt bad for him for most of the movie.
I like the idea of him, like, it almost like tries to trick the movie at first. You think he's like a guy who's got learning difficulties.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, he's an android.
But it quickly reveals he's an android, and he's just like basically like an old model of android.
Like an obsolete model,
That's got like, problems. Basically like a Windows XP sort of PC. Far past its prime. And then like the subtlety of his performance when he got the like upgrade, like the AI chip in his head. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess a lot of that's like the bit where he reboots, where he just completely freezes.
Yeah.
Like obviously that's probably CGI assisted and stuff, but it looks really eerie and impressive.
Yeah, I think that, I wonder if they like shot him in like a high frame rate or something, and like lit him with like a strobe light or something.
Yeah, because there's an odd look to it.
Yeah,
isn't there?
like he looks jerky, but he's standing still.
Yeah,
it's like, that's weird.
Yeah,
that was really good. I thought the cast was really good, just in general.
Yeah, the cast in general were great.
Like everyone. I wasn't, even like, I mean, the guy from the trailer, the fucking shouting in the water.
Yeah.
Like, okay, he's a bit aggressively British. And he's probably the closest thing this movie's got to an antagonist.
Yeah, the
aside from
Beyond
the aliens.
character. Yeah, he was getting on my nerves, because just for how like unreasonable he was, but that's the point of his character.
Yeah, and it's like, his mum got killed by an android.
Like if
They
anything, he's doing his job well, because I was like, oh, fucking, this guy's annoying. But he's supposed to be,
Yeah, so, but I didn't feel it reached the point where I was like, oh, fuck that character.
No.
Or anything.
And I don't know if you picked this up or I'm just looking too much into it, but there was a brief exchange between him and the K character. Is he supposed to be the dad?
Yeah, I picked up on that. The fact that she said, oh, just some arsehole.
Yeah.
And like he was like protective.
Yeah.
I very much got like a love triangle between like him, the Asian lass, the first one to die.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Right.
I just felt there was something going on there.
Definitely.
Personally. So yeah. And there's some interesting stuff about. There's some symmetry there about pregnancy, I guess, and rebirth, which we'll get to. But the fact that, because I think Bjorn was in a relationship with the
Navarro.
Yeah, Navarro. Yeah, because there's a bit where they like kind of have a moment. Mm-hmm. So I kind of got the feeling they were boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, and he's like had a fling with
Kay,
yeah.
And like she, and we'll tip into spoilers, but like she's the first one to give birth.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
You know what I mean. I feel like there was something going on there with life and death and birth.
Yeah.
So that was quite interesting.
So I guess how far can we go without getting into spoilers?
Yeah, well, I think we'll sum up and then we'll like the overall feeling about movies, and then we'll talk about spoilers because I do have quite a lot to say about it.
Well, you're the big Alien fan, so like, say this is Alien 5. Let's not count Covenant and Prometheus. If this is Alien 5, where does it rank?
Yeah.
Is it better than 3?
It's a tough one.
I know it is, isn't
it? It's a tough one. I think the stuff that I liked is better than 3 and 4.
It's a more crowd-pleasing movie than 3.
Yeah. But I think the stuff that I don't like drags it down quite substantially. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Alien 3 or Alien Resurrection, but it kind of had its own voice. Those two movies had their own voice, and I do feel like this one was just kind of like repeating what's already been done.
Yeah, well, it's just the fucking curse of the modern sequel, isn't it? It's got to be. At least it wasn't like it. Well, I was going to say at least it wasn't like just a reboot of Alien, which it wasn't. It wasn't a reboot disguised as a sequel.
No. I feel like there was a bit of like Star Wars Force Awakens going on a little bit with this one.
Well, I would say I would a little bit, but not to that extent. I would say. It's not like it's a crew of guys on a ship and there's the alien from Alien. It's just like it's a different enough.
I'll have to think about it and keep watching it in terms of like where does it rank overall and stuff.
All right, we'll see you on a desert island. You want your alien fix. All you've got is this or Resurrection. What are you putting on?
Yeah, that's.
If you want like a good alien, because this feels more. Like, you got to agree with this. This feels like an alien movie more than Resurrection does.
Yeah, probably just because fucking Alien Resurrection's such a turd of a movie. I would probably say this, to be fair.
Yeah,
you've pinned us down on that one. I mean, what about you? How do you feel overall about the movie?
I'm kind of the same as you. Like the first 40 minutes, I was enjoying it and I was looking forward to see where it was going. And then, like I said in the car, it gets to that point where it's just thing after thing after thing going wrong. And I mean, I know it's an alien movie, so that's what happens.
Yeah.
But it just felt like there was not too much going on, but just too much going on too soon or something. It just felt like there wasn't a lot of time to catch your breath a lot of the time.
It, like we said it in the car, didn't we? But it's like kind of catastrophe porn a little bit, where it's just like...
And then you think it's finished, and then it does that like, nope.
Yeah.
Another 15 minutes.
Which I feel like was something that was earned in Aliens. Mm-hmm. And they retried it with Alien Resurrection, and it didn't work. No. And I just think it was a mistake to do that again. Mm-hmm. It was a mistake to try to have the goal to be like, we're doing what Aliens did, and it's like, you're not Aliens. Sorry, but you're not that good of a movie. Yeah. Like or Alien. Alien and Aliens both have the false finish. Oh, yeah. And I just think like, do something different for fuck's sake. Just be your own movie. Yeah. And that's why I think I enjoyed the 35, 40 minutes of the movie when it was being its own movie.
Yeah.
And then once we got to a certain point, I felt like I'm on a nostalgia ride now of here are the this moment is from Aliens.
Yeah.
Do you remember this bit from Alien 1? And it's
Yeah, because the first 30, 40 minutes, it's basically almost like a sort of like relaxed space heist where they're like on the ship just like taking things for their own purpose and stuff. And then, I mean, you got to admit that it's a lot of it's CGI, obviously, but the like dozens of facehuggers chasing them is terrifying.
Great stuff, in the stuff in the water, them fucking around your ankles and stuff, like that's terrifying. And then them all flipping and flopping coming through the door and stuff.
Yeah, because that's briefly seen in the trailer, and like it works so well in the movie. Yeah.
And even I like the going through the corridor, the body temperature.
Yeah,
I really thought that's cool. That's
a new
something
thing
we've not seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how do the facehuggers work? How do because they haven't got eyeballs, so how do they track? Yeah. So yeah, body heat. It made sense.
Just
so that was cool.
The worst set of you say, right? They shouldn't say you're right, but like if you get nervous or sweat or have goosebumps, you're fucked. They say, what the fuck? How am I going to control that?
Yeah, like
okay, let's just go. Okay, if I die, I die.
Yeah, I think I probably would have been like, is there another way? Because I'm not fucking gonna last in that room.
But yeah, I enjoyed most of it.
Yeah.
Like, I thought visually it was really good. Like I said, the performance was really good. There's just something about... It's just weird. I don't know. I might have to watch it again.
Yeah, although not in IMAX, right?
No, fuck me. I mean, I don't go to the cinema that often, but that's got to be the loudest film I've ever seen in the cinema.
There's a bit where they're like... I suppose it's like the dropship moment in reverse.
Yeah.
Instead of dropping to the planet, they're escaping the gravity of the planet. And like it was so fucking loud. Yeah. I put a finger in one ear just to like protect my brain at one point. I was like
yeah, and it's just like there's a lot of like bassy rumbles in the movie, and I just felt myself like vibrating in my chest, ribcage vibrating and stuff. Hell. It was like being on like this sounds like a shitty movie line for a poster, but it was honestly like being on a roller coaster.
It was.
You were like, fucking hell.
Imagine seeing that film in 4DX.
Oh, fuck that. You know the steam and shit that's in that fucking your chair moving, steam in your face,
get shit splashed in your face and stuff, and then it's because I think it does use I think it is kind of an IMAX-y type screen as well. I don't think it's full IMAX, but I think it's like because obviously it's 3D, isn't it? So
is it?
I would just feel sensory blind.
Also, was this
in that movie.
Was this released in 3D? Oh, just for 4DX?
4DX,
oh, okay.
Yeah, only for 4DX.
I was going to say, there is that one shot near the end that I said in the car, like, it looked like something out of a 3D movie.
Yeah, maybe they just chucked it in for the 4DX crowd. Maybe. Yeah. I'll have to watch it again. I don't think I could say at this point, do I recommend it or anything. I think as a...
If you've seen the rest of them.
Yeah, I think, well, maybe as a go get a jump scared, eat your popcorn and be like scared of a horror.
It's quite a jump scare movie.
Probably. I would recommend it for that.
Yeah.
As an Alien fan of the franchise, I need more time with it.
They're going to fucking see it anyway, though.
Yeah, true. So I guess...
Moving to spoilers.
Yeah, so I think, like, if you don't want spoilers, stop listening.
Here's your spoiler warning in 3, 2, 1.
Now we're gonna talk about spoilers. We're gonna spoil every goddamn thing. So skip on ahead or just stop listening and don't say we didn't warn you. Spoilers, they're on their way out of our gobs and into your love holes. Here come the motherfucking spoilers.
Ian Holmes back.
Yeah. So, the moment the movie got shit for me, as I said in the car, Ian Holmes turns up and he goes, the movie's about to get really bad now. And I was like, oh, right, cheers.
Cheers, Ian.
Ian Holmes. The CGI almost worked. It just wasn't quite right.
I don't understand how many fucking times have they done this now with like either de-aging or CGI characters. Why does the mouth always look weird?
Yeah.
Just fucking get a guy's mouth to say the lines and superimpose it on the
around us.
CGI. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But they're insisting on like, no, we're gonna do it all.
I don't know, it's just our brains are so good at spotting real people that like it's
Especially
such
on
a hard
fucking
problem.
IMAX screen.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good point. Maybe it'll look better on Blu-ray.
Maybe, yeah.
because it's like you're not seeing like 100-foot high CGI model or however big it was.
Yeah.
I
I mean, we'll say this is the thing that got spoiled for us both before we saw it.
Yeah, I did see on a fucking thumbnail.
Yeah.
like I saw it on YouTube.
I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah.
But when the scene finally came, I was like, why the fuck would Ash be here? And then I'm like, but he's not ripped apart of the head.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine then.
It's just
another
model.
android.
Yeah, I'll buy that. That there's what 20 different models of robots, and they just all have the same appearance.
Yeah,
like
exactly,
there's a Bishop model and there's an Ash model,
And
I
the
do
Andy
get that.
model and
Yeah,
stuff.
so I do buy that.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't have like every android that Weyland-Yutani makes has a different likeness. It would be too mental.
And it makes sense that model would still be there because it's not so long after Alien and stuff.
Not sure about the fact he was dressed as Ash. Like they could have done without that, I guess, because he has like the blue.
Yeah, because
and
that's
white.
kind of his dress for like the Nostromo kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's like
unless that is just the standard clothes for that model. I don't know.
I mean, they're both science officers.
True.
So, just fucking. I just think like first, it's still weird bringing somebody back that's dead.
It is.
I'm sure they did get the blessing of the family.
Oh, they'd have to.
Because you just couldn't, could you?
No.
But I just don't know. Like, use a live actor for fuck's sake. Get somebody that's needing the work who can do a creepy performance.
I mean, shit. We're close. We're in between Alien and Aliens. They could have got Lance Henriksen.
Yeah, he's still
And he could have
alive.
voiced it.
Yeah.
They could have CGI'd it still.
Yeah.
To de-age him and stuff, but he still could have voiced it.
Seeing this, and we're in spoiler talk now, so there's a link to Prometheus. Get Michael Fassbender, like the David character, wrap up that story about David.
Yeah,
because you never got to find out the end. We'll never find out the end of David.
Probably not.
I'm personally not bothered about that. But for the fans of that franchise, it would have been really cool to tie that loop up of it's like, after the events of Alien Covenant. The David model ended up being like some high up scientist officer working for Weyland-Yutani, like hundreds of years in the future. And he gets his comeuppance by getting smashed into the planet of rings at the end. He finally gets his comeuppance. Yeah. But because there is did he catch the music sting from Prometheus? I don't know if you'd be familiar with it.
Probably not.
The bit when they go into the Romulus lab and they have the black goo. That's all Prometheus stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the black goo. There's a hologram of like the containers from Prometheus, and when the Rook, the Ian Holm character, when he's talking about the black goo, there's like a bit of music. But I was
I haven't seen fucking Prometheus in 10 years. So.
Yeah, they definitely like linked it into Prometheus.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's like, well, if you're doing all that, why not just get Michael Fassbender back? I don't know. Maybe they asked him and he was like, no.
Yeah, I think just because they want the alien nostalgia. So.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. I do feel like it might have been one of these movies where the studio was like, hi, young, talented director, you can do whatever you want with this movie, but here's a list of 30 things we want in the movie. Maybe. And he was like, oh, fuck. You know what I mean? Like, here's 30 demands from like 20th Century Fox that you must tick. And one of them was like, bring Ash back or something. And all he's like, oh, God, can I call him Rook instead of Ash?
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause I don't know what it was, just something clicked in my head when I saw that screenshot spoiler. And it was just the shot of the screenshots made it look like Ash was back and he was the main villain.
Yeah.
Like, he looked like he was sitting there like, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Has he got like aliens under his control somehow?
Fucking robot aliens.
Thankfully, the Ian Holm thing didn't bother us that much once I was like, okay, good, it's a different character.
Yeah. I didn't mind him when he was on the screens and stuff.
No,
when he was just that head
You've
on
got
the
that
monitor.
VHS fuzz over him and stuff, like digital fuzz.
So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the aliens. Fucking hell! Or why do these modern aliens films like somebody gets impregnated by a face hugger, and a minute later it's a full size.
There's no fucking like uniform to like when fucking shit happens in these movies now.
They're just so in a hurry. Like when you look back at an Alien, they get him onto the ship. John Hurt lies in a coma. The alien, the facehugger comes off his face.
Yeah.
Then there's a scene where they're like eating, and it finally breaks out.
Yeah.
Pacing and consideration and tension. I get it that they had to cram it in and keep the pace of the movie going, but I just think I just kind of regret. My biggest regret about the Alien franchise is the gestation period just seems to suit the plot.
Yeah.
In all of these movies,
Yeah.
like Alien 3, it's like it takes weeks for the alien to come out.
But that's because it's a queen.
True.
So we'll let that go.
So yeah, I did kind of think like, fucking hell, like. From like implantation to chest burster to full size alien, it was like 10 minutes.
I will say though, the weight slowly came out of my chest this time was very foreskinny.
It was, yeah.
It was very like, ooh, they're going a bit graphic with the genitals, the genital like metaphors in this film.
Yeah, I mean, you can't fault the creature effects.
No.
I thought it was really good. I thought the alien, just the look of the alien and stuff was done very well.
Yeah.
The fact that there was like that one reoccurring alien, I guess. And the only reason I kind of call it this is because NECA have put out a figure, and I think it's called like the Scorched Alien.
It's got like a scar, doesn't it? Yeah.
So that's obviously the alien that bursts out of Navarro and gets the scar from him jamming the thing.
Yeah.
So I like that. That it was the Jason Voorhees alien basically that stalked them through the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, another thing I really like, just because I'm like at that moment in the movie, is I like the Bjorn who died from the acid. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
That was kind of grim.
Yeah, kind of just slowly dripped acid on him and killed him.
Yeah, and just that bit where like it had obviously punctured through his bone in his chest or something, and it just got to his heart and killed him basically. And
before that, it just the little tip comes out, and it just slashes up his face with the tail, which is brutal.
Yeah. So another highlight I really liked was the alien crouching down, waiting for them to open the door.
Yeah.
I like that. I like how Andy was like, I'm not going to open the door because that's what the creature wants us to do.
Yeah.
And it was like there, hunked
Just
down.
waiting.
Like,
And then it just lost its patience, basically.
Yeah, and just went, fuck it, I'll just take it. That was really good.
Yeah. What did you think of the zero gravity bit at the end with the acid and stuff?
Interesting.
I've never seen that in Alien.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked the idea. I mean, would you go through the acid? Would you be like, right?
It's risky.
Yeah. Would you just be like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Fucking that's certain death floating through there. But it was interesting.
It was a good action moment, wasn't it?
Yeah. I caught there was like a little aliens callback. Well, there's multiple aliens callback.
Yeah.
The bit when he's showing her how to use the pulse rifle.
Yeah.
Thought that's like Hicks and Ripley.
Exactly. Yeah.
The bit when she's climbing out the lift and there's smoke and stuff. I thought that's aliens.
Putting on the spacesuit at the end.
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
Alien. Yeah, there's many callbacks to the movie.
No tiny underpants.
No tiny underpants. There weren't underpants.
There were
wasn't
underpants.
it undercrackers? But yeah, I suppose that the biggest fuck you for me when we're talking about callbacks is just the whole resurrection ending.
It's weird that they would do that, isn't it? It's almost like they saw that and went, there's something there. It's not fucking weird enough. It's not freaky enough when we're doing it again. Because like I get the it's not like it's just like let's do so weird. Because when you think about it, this is what Will and Yutani are trying to do: create super soldiers.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Yeah.
And I will say that bit where Andy turns around and it's just in the shot on the like almost covered in darkness. I was like, oh fuck me. That fucking nightmare.
There was some pretty creepy shots of that thing. Yeah. And I guess the tied, thinking about it, the tied it into Prometheus again because it's clearly supposed to be an engineer.
Yeah.
Like the look of it.
I did think that. Yeah. I wondered if that was the whole intention behind it.
And I think there's even there's a bit of a body horror scene in Prometheus, if you remember, where the character Elsbeth, she realizes because she had sex with a boyfriend who was infected by the black goo.
Or she gives herself like a cesarean.
And it like pulls out that sack, and it's like, I think they were going for shades of that in the scene when she's like in the cryo bed and it's all the blood's coming out of her and stuff, which I'd just say must be like extremely upsetting for women to watch. I think blood spraying from the vaginal area.
Definitely. Yeah.
It's like, oh Jesus.
I know.
But yeah, I just weird. I think that whole end scene was just like, ugh, I just could have done
It just
without
felt like too much. I
it.
don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I was
Yeah.
like tired at
Yeah,
that point
'cause,
of the movie.
the fucking loud ass movie and vibrating for like 2 hours, and then you go, oh, I think it's right winding down now.
Like, I don't know what I would do in that situation. I mean, would I go back for Andy? I would probably be like, I'd be in the elevator and I'd be like, looking at him in the footage, and me personally, I'd probably be like, fuck him, he's just a robot.
No
and
sentimental
I would fuck
attachment.
off. Same with Jonesy the cat.
Yeah.
Same with Newt.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm out of here, folks. But then, like, okay, so maybe I do save Andy because I love him as a brother.
Mm-hmm.
But then the whole monster bit, I think I would just lie down and die. I'd be like, oh, fuck off. Right, I'm dead.
It's just one thing after the other on this fucking thing.
I would just give up and I'd be like, just kill us.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Because, it was just too much. It really is, though, thinking about it. It is very much an Alien Resurrection movie.
I'm guessing that like fucking that might be the point.
Like the beats of the movie, like I said, that I know I joked, but like thinking about it more, like science guys bring back the alien through DNA
And
manipulation, fuck it up.
Yeah. Ragtag crew.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily hired to do that, but
No,
they're
but they're
there
on
for
the
their own
ship
purpose.
as invaders.
Yeah.
Shit goes wrong, and they have to travel from one point of the ship to the other point of the ship through the haunted house of monsters.
Yep.
There's the robot character, the Cole character. And like I said, there's even like the bit where they have to go through the hive, and it ends with them climbing up a big ladder. That's like totally Alien Resurrection.
They wash him with water. Yeah.
Yeah, like what the fuck? They're just like ripped off bit for bit. Like, so yeah, bit strange, that stuff.
Yeah, maybe, like I said, maybe that's the point. Maybe
Yeah.
he looked at the Alien movies and went, like, he's probably thinking, maybe when in the early days, like, okay, we can use some of this from Aliens. And he's watched Alien 3 and went, then he's watched Resurrection and went, oh, why isn't this better?
Yeah.
You never know.
I'm going to do a better job of that.
And he's like, and fucking, I went to the newborn bit at the end, but make it fucked up.
Just need it. The only thing that was missing was Ron Perlman going like, I like pussy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or like the main actress just doing a basketball throw.
Having horrible comedy.
But
yeah.
it does have a basketball player playing the newborn.
It does. It's
all coming together.
Beautiful. Yeah, because we looked before we started recording it. All I could think about during that scene was, is that weirdly proportioned basketball
Really
player?
tall basketball.
Like, bless him.
I thought it was all CG, unless for the close-ups. But I guess thinking about it, now that we've seen a picture of him, there is a lot of full body shots where I'm like, oh, that's probably him.
It's probably him just dressed up. They just painted him white.
Yeah, it almost
Got
reminded
him.
us because of like the proportions and like how tall and slender. It reminded us the end of Wreck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, a very Apex 20.
Oh, when there's a shot where it just goes on his face and he's like doing that big smell. I was like, oh, that's fucking awful.
Yeah. I did notice like multiple times they did a bit of an Alien 3. You know, the famous shot from Alien 3. There's a bit when the alien does it to Tyler, the guy that gets dragged up in the ceiling and gets killed. There's like an Alien 3 shot with him, but then there's also an Alien shot with the newborn monster and her at the end.
Well, that's what I was honestly expecting something more fucked up in that scene because there's that. I remember there's the picture at the paint at the start that shows like the baby breastfeeding off its dead mother.
Oh yeah.
And then the daughter of the lab has like a cow like in teats.
Yeah,
and I was
true.
like, are we actually going to see this fucking thing start sucking on her tits?
Yeah,
and I was like, please don't.
Yeah, because they did do that, didn't they? She reached into her top.
Yeah, and
it
she
was
like pulled
black
out like
goo.
this goo, and it's like you can tell that's what he's doing, but they don't show it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thank God, because that would be too fucking. I just feel well uncomfortable in a cinema full of people.
So yeah, I think we've kind of covered most
pretty
of it.
much, yeah.
To summarise my feelings, the movie goes downhill massively. Like I said, when Ian Holm turns up, basically, I think. For me.
I would say that is probably the point. There's a turn.
Yeah. Whereas like the movie had us like really hooked until it started to go wrong. And Ian Holm, it didn't immediately bother us. But I think like that's when the movie started to take a turn. Where I was like, oh, I'm not really happy. Then the chest burster came out immediately, and I was like, it feels like it's going off the rails now a little bit for us.
But still, at least it's an alien movie that's an alien movie, and not. I mean, like you said, it still links with Covenant and Prometheus, but it's still it's an alien movie, not this.
Yeah. I think there's some stuff that they could have definitely lent more into Prometheus, and it wouldn't have bothered us. But it's not as bad as what I thought it was going to be. I guess I'll say that about it.
I tried to stay as neutral as possible.
Yeah,
and I enjoyed it for what it was. But like, I agree with you that there's just a certain point in the film where I felt myself going,
yeah, getting a bit like restless in your seat.
Yeah.
Being like,
Plus,
"Oh,
you know
come
me,
on."
I needed a piss like 20 minutes into the movie, so by the end I was like, pins.
You just drank that tango far too fast.
No, actually, I had quite a bit left because I could feel the pain and was like, I'm going to piss myself.
Oh dear. So yeah, there you go.
That's Romulus. And
Alien.
that's-
Will there be a sequel? I suppose there's a bit
it
of a
does
sequel.
feel
but-
like it feels like as much of a sequel bait as Alien has,
Yeah.
where they like just drift off into space.
Yeah, I mean, she's got the black goo on board, right? Still at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
In the canisters and
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, they kind of have to, because then what the fuck happened between this film and Aliens?
Yeah.
Unless that ship is just it's still drifting in space somewhere.
Yeah. Although, well, in the expanded universe stuff, I think like Ash uploaded his consciousness into the Narcissus, the escape, and I mean, I hate this theory, but I think it's in one of the comics or one of the radio shows they did. Like they've already found that Ash pilots the like Narcissus to Weyland-Yutani, and they're like basically like check she's still alive, and then they like shoot her into deep space just to fuck with her. Basically, they're like, yeah, fuck off, because they've already got what they need basically or something.
Okay.
The only thing I suppose this just came to us, but in closing, why are they even bothered about finding the Nostromo wreckage and the alien floating in space? Don't they know where the fucking the derelict is with all the eggs? And they've got the report because it was all sent back to...
Well, that was another thing. Maybe they've already been there, because why the fuck is there a load of facehuggers on the ship?
I think the Rook character, the Ian Holm, I think he said he created the facehuggers by like reverse engineering them.
I thought it was something like that.
From the black goo that they extracted from the big chap, which is
the
what the
alien from
alien's
Alien.
called. Yeah, which is a bit fucking convoluted. But yeah, why didn't they don't need the alien from the Nostromo, the big chap? They just go to the planet that they know exists, that has alien eggs, that has the derelict, and just go get them. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Bit of a plot hole.
Yeah, well, they just probably went, well, let's forget about that so we can have a sequel.
yeah. Well, on that note, our food is here.
Excellent. We're going to go eat kebabs now.
Chairman.
We'll see you in October, down the pit in October.
Yes, where we're doing some horror-y stuff.
It's time for horror month once again, Halloween month, so it's going to be all horror and horror in October. I'm losing my voice and I'm hungry. So yeah,
let's do it.
See you doing the pit.
See you, Neat.
Bye.